hela moo ke le shebile. And welcome to it. This is the free ride. Today I'm so excited. I've got an amazing guest. He's sitting right here at Mr. President. I call him Paps. I call him Dad. I call him Paps. I call him and he's widely known as Moses Gibbons. They also call you Razmoe.
Yeah,
Razmoe.
we love that.
Is Razmoe your real name, or is it like a Rasta?
Yeah, I just put the Rasta thing in front, you know. So
Okay.
because a lot of people call me that.
So
my name Moses, you know.
So Razmoe is Rasta Moses.
Yeah, Rasta Moses.
Okay. Pops, welcome to our new podcast.
Nice, give thanks, bro.
It's really an honor to have you here to speak to you, because you always fascinate me, Pops. Yeah, you always have Pops, you always mess with my mind, Pops.
yeah. I think in life they say iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
So we gotta challenge each other with knowledge, especially.
Yes.
Especially us that come from Africa, because why? We've been taught a more Eurocentric education.
Yes.
So we need to learn a little bit about being proud, of our heritage, of our culture. So I'm always scratching for a little bits of information that will impress I and make I and I feel proud, to be alive, to be African.
That's amazing, Pops. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us about where you grew up, where were you born, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was born in a little village. I'm from a great family lineage, second generation of mixed, heritage. But like they say, if you got white wine and a red wine, and you mix the white wine into the red wine is still red, a different shade of red.
Yeah.
But vice versa, the white wine don't. So, I resonate with Africa because, I come from a mixed heritage. My background is mixed, but I don't feel mixed in any way. I feel solidly African. And
mixed heritage, how, Pops?
Because my grandfather was from, both of them were from England.
Okay.
On my mother and my father's side. And both my grandmothers were born Africans, My grandmother was from Lobengula's lineage.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a Kumalo. And on the other side, my other grandmother was from Mozambique lineage.
Yes.
So, yeah, we mix like crazy.
So, born in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, born in Zimbabwe.
When were you born?
A long time ago, man, 1961.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel long to me.
Pops, how old are you now?
I'm now exactly 60.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
60?
Yeah, 60 years old.
And you still
young,
run
60 years young.
60 years young.
Yeah.
You don't feel as your age.
Not really, because I think it's all a spiritual thing. When I was 18, 19, I came out of a missionary school. I was in a Catholic missionary school. And this missionary school had 4-month terms, and it was far in the bush. So for 4 months, you didn't see your family, you didn't see nobody, and you were just, so that was 2 terms of the year. It was 4 months long. So it was 8 months of the year, you in this bush for almost 10 years of my life. So when I came out of the Catholic school, I began to question certain things about Catholicism, which, didn't resonate. And it was almost like saying, hey, man, there's no knowledge of God, in a sense that I couldn't understand this. But when I began to read and inquire, really, I saw that there is a history that we as Africans have, a proud history in the Bible and in other books and well documented, of our before Catholicism, before Christianity, and leading through Christianity and right up until now. So, that settled my brain, and I kind of I love this Rasta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started studying more Rastafarianism and the history of Africa through that.
Yeah.
And I think, it's a beautiful thing for all of us to question.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know where you're coming from, it's hard to formulate a plan of where we are stepping forward to.
Yeah.
And when you see that social cohesion emanates from this kind of lifestyle, this righteous lifestyle of praying and giving thanks to a creator, and you see that sort of governance is fair, especially to the poor people, because that is what most of the hero of the Bible, who is Jesus, that is his whole life that he fought against, oppression of the poor. And I think that this will help in social cohesion. And
so, Paps, and then let's talk about at what point did you decide that you are moving away from what you like, Catholicism?
Yeah.
How old were you then when you started realizing?
I was about 19.
Yo, Paps.
19 years old.
So everything you thought you knew, you started questioning.
Yeah.
What was it about?
The first thing was the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
And the kissing of statues in church. I didn't like that.
Okay.
I thought if I'm taught the 10 Commandments and I'm having to kiss a statue, isn't that idolatrous?
Yeah.
And then the calling of a man father, when one of the 10 Commandments says, call no man father except me. I felt like I couldn't explain it, and plus he was a father without children or a wife.
Yeah.
So that mystery still remains.
Yeah.
Still remains.
How are you a father?
But yeah. And a lot of things I had to question. Yeah. So I think that common sense is not common. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
You got to pay for it. Yeah. And this is why it's no more common, because they've challenged our common sense into esoteric thinking.
Yeah.
And some of that esoteric thinking is really, really, really against it's idolatrous. It's leading us into more mayhem than unity and cohesion and love of the Most High. Because when you love the Most High, nothing else counts. Not the worship of the stars, zodiac signs, not the worship of a stone, not the worship of a tree, a log, of anything. Yeah. Nothing else counts.
Animals,
No.
Yeah.
Nothing else counts.
Yeah. And was it difficult for people to accept your new way of thinking?
Yes. In my community, it was difficult because they've been taught one way. And it's been ingrained into them.
Yeah.
And psychologically, there's a thing they call psyops. And these are used by governments, that they have actually psychological weapons, or should I say, people that think psychologically to maneuver your thinking away from what is good and what is right. And that smoke screen can go on for years. And by the time you blow away the smoke, especially if it's not ganja smoke, then you got a problem. You got a problem. You can't see where you're going.
Yeah, you can't see.
You don't know where you're going. And what has happened is that our intellectuals have become some of the most guilty in keeping us oppressed, because they are the ones that are being taught how to free us.
Yeah.
So why do we have all these hundreds and thousands that are coming out of university and going into management of corporations that still uphold the same principles that are holding us down? It's how people need to say, hey, man, let me also, I know I'm in this corporation, but let me, slip in my bridge in and break out and guide them.
Yeah.
Show them that this is the mistake you're making,
Do you think society has always been like this? It's like we just get told, we just get informed, and we just believe, and we just go as a flow. We don't oppose what has been given to us or told to us. We just accept.
Yes.
Especially if you look at the disparities between the rich and the poor, the gap between those who have and those who don't.
We have no time for spirituality.
Yeah.
We are too engaged in trying to live to make that money. We are too engaged in protecting the little we have, and thereby we create little lagers, and information doesn't seep out amongst each other. We're not iron sharpening iron anymore.
Yeah.
And then we work for that little group. So.
And we give in to them, and the whole
divide and rule has taken longer than 500 years, because the 500 years is about the time of slavery.
Yeah.
The physical taking of humans from Africa in the millions. That's why they say the Atlantic Ocean is crying out in pain. There's so many Africans that died in that. Thrown in there.
Paps. So tell me just your thoughts on slavery. I mean, we were once so powerful as Africans.
Yeah.
We created many things that is not documented, but we did.
It was perpetuated slowly through Arabs' conquest, 600 AD, somewhere there when the Arabs came into Africa. And through that, there was a perpetuation of taking not only people, but our history. So we don't know that those pharaohs of old were actually black. We don't know that Israel was actually black, living in Israel in all those areas. And that is why Africa was known as Cush at one time, because Cush was one of the children of Ham.
Okay.
And Ham was one of the sons of Noah. So when you look at that history and you say, okay, how strong is the Bible teachings with Africa? And you see the usurpation of a lot of those teachings to other people. In the New Testament, I think it is Paul, who was Saul, is reported to have never actually met Jesus.
Really?
Well, we have it documented in some books. I've got a beautiful book here.
Okay.
King James Version. You know, the Africa Heritage Study version of it.
Oh.
So you gotta, you get into it, and then you see things like this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but we're seeing pictures like this, and this is Jesus.
A black Jesus.
Yes. And we're seeing pictures like this, and there's a reason for all of this.
Okay, who's that?
And this is because this is the Last Supper.
Wait, let's see the Last Supper. So the Last Supper were all a bunch of black guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
and this book
Wait a
is the
minute.
King James Version. So it was authorized, by the biblical societies to be written in this way. And the great thinkers and writers that put it together, man like Sheikh Anta Diop. I don't know if you know of Sheikh Anta Diop.
No,
And
never heard of it.
yeah, he's one of the greatest modern archaeologists, philosophers, historian, you name it. Because he had like 10 different degrees.
Yo, this is a picture of a black Jesus and his children. And it's a Holy Bible, the King James Version.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like this.
Well, be proud. Be proud of who you are, no matter where you are. And I'm not saying this out of being racist. It's not being racist. I think it's just really putting a mark onto what is actually probably the real truth.
Yeah.
Because why has it been hidden that so many of our people have contributed and written
But
these books?
Pops, my only thing is, like, everybody thinks it's their truth. Like, for instance, if you're African, like you are, you have your own beliefs.
Yeah.
If you're from anywhere in another continent, it's your your
Yeah.
truth. So you can argue until you go blue,
That's true.
and
That's
then
true.
if you're from the East, you're gonna have your own truth.
Yeah.
You believe in the Buddhas, in the
Yeah.
if you're in India,
And
different.
and it's a beautiful thing. I don't blame anybody for doing that. It's
Yeah.
cultural differences, geographical differences in knowledge. But when you look at the source of all this knowledge, many say that Hermes,
Yeah.
you see this other book, Hermes
Okay.
Trismegistus, which is his Greek name, many say that he had many other names, but he was an ancient philosopher in Egypt, living in Egypt, and he was known to teach all the religions.
The Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt
Yes.
and Greece.
And
Sounds heavy.
one of his sayings, he says, the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. And I love that because, you can knock how many times and open the door how many times. But if the man is not willing to imbibe and take in that knowledge, it's
pointless.
It's pointless. So there are people like me that love this kind of knowledge because we find value in it.
Yeah. Pops, I'm fascinated by this picture. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's Moses.
Moses.
It's you, Pops. Pops, this is you, Pops.
Well, there's been many Moses, and there's been a great Moses of Abyssinia, of Ethiopia. He's a saint in Ethiopia. But this Moses actually ran away from Egypt and was tutored by an Ethiopian and married the Ethiopian high priest's daughter after the high priest had taught him how to be a mannered, cultured, spiritual being. And then he went back to Egypt and fought against Pharaoh.
What?
The story is there. It's right there.
Yeah.
When
Is
he ran away.
Is it the same Moses who opened the water?
Yes. They say he's the first man who used the cloud to download a tablet.
I love it. Yo. Hey, it's this guy over here, man. It's the Black Moses.
Yeah, man.
He downloaded the cloud. Pop, say that again.
Cloud. He downloaded from the cloud.
He downloaded a tablet from a cloud. And he was using a stick as a Bluetooth.
Connection, man. Connection.
Yeah.
You know the strangest thing that I've found? Though we love technology, we love science, we love everything. But when we look to our spiritual selves, how is it that we always look to the most ancient of writings to inspire us?
Yeah.
So those questions ring in my head. I say, look, science has got to a level where it could be even misleading us away from the knowledge of Jah, because they think they are in competition to create something, another human, another something, or some, and it gets to me because when I look at the reason why I know there is a God is because, did you know that the thought is the only thing that is created on earth in the entire universe without destroying a single atom, molecule? Nothing does it destroy. Everything else that is created destroys its original form. Whether it's you make a brick out of soil,
It destroys something.
it destroys this, And that is why there is power in the word. And that is why we as men have been given the word to be useful, to create more love, to create more justice, more unity, because the power of the word can be used to be the highest form of praise to the Most High. But we cannot create from that word something that is living, like the story of the Most High, of the Creator. He created from nothing something that is living. And we cannot get to that level ever. We'll never get to it. Where a thought can create something, we'll never get to it. So why try? Let's be content with what we got. And make what we got better.
Do you think we were created equal?
Yes.
God created us equal as men.
Yes.
So,
but man has created a system that is that it veers away from the teachings of the Most High and made it unequal to others.
Paps, is it true that the snake gave Eve the apple?
Well,
Or is it metaphoric?
Everything is true. What they say on earth, whatever is happening on earth happens in heaven. If you don't get what I'm trying to say, I'm saying that the battles that we're having as humans on earth, the angels are fighting in heaven. Good against evil. But light is more powerful than darkness. And so I think that is just the way we built as Africans. We just love the light. Maybe that's why we're so dark.
Yeah.
Always in the light, in the sun.
We got the sun, we got the
light. We love it. Alive. You're out there, doing our thing.
Yeah.
And that gets people jealous.
Yeah.
We have the best of everything, the best in the whole of creation. So let's drive out jealousy, put our shoulder to the wheel, and make it work. We can make it work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Paps, you're also a dad. You're a grandfather as well.
Yeah.
You're a married man. How long have you been married now, Paps?
Yeah, well, Menelik is what, 30-something. Well, we've been married 33 years, but we've been together longer than that. Probably 40-some odd.
And how did you guys meet?
Yeah, I was visiting. And I saw this beautiful girl.
You were like, this one.
Yes. She liked me, and she,
Yeah.
And I ain't, I look like a prickly pear sometimes.
So she was like, this one is
that's, because why? Sometimes it's a spiritual thing where you just click and you just
connect,
know, that is the right person for me.
So you knew spiritually, you felt it, that this one was the one.
Yes, yes.
And you've been together for so many years.
For so
Pops.
many years, yeah.
Wow, Pops.
Yeah.
And is it difficult to be married?
Everything is difficult in life. It's difficult to be unmarried.
Yeah.
You'd be like an empty vessel making the most noise. No, when you are together, you build better. You are a force, a solid force.
Yeah.
You're interlocking like bricks of something.
Yeah.
And when you look at the system is forcing families to be apart.
Yes.
Because when you build together as a family, you can build such a solid foundation that generations can survive on it.
Yeah.
And there are political systems that target the disruption of family life. If you don't know, I'll tell you that.
Pops.
Yes.
That it's systematic for them to breaking the family system
through poverty, through hardship, through different means. So we have to be clever and escape those bonds, whether it's through alcoholism or hard drug dependency. And I don't mean the herb, because the herb is just a burning bush, which Moses, he was there.
I mean, Moses.
We respect that burning bush straight. We respect that burning bush Rasta. And we give thanks to the Most High.
Did Moses smoke the bush, though?
This is the tree of life that is planted on the banks of still waters that shall give us peace, love, unity, wisdom, and understanding.
Wow, Pops.
And when we look at it in Revelations, that is the tree. All the animals of the bush, whether it's a rat, snake, mouse, everything will be there. Birds celebrating, enjoying the seeds, enjoying the companionship that we get
out of the bush.
And it's the busiest tree that you can ever find in a forest. Yes.
Lots of things visit the tree.
Birds are there, bees are there, insects are there.
Bees are like, we need energy. We need that sativa to push us.
In the forest is the noisiest tree. Communications happening there, Trent.
Oh my God. Yo, Pops.
I love it.
So, Pops, has it always been difficult for you being a Rastafarian man, dreadlocks, traveling? I mean, has it been a problem for you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a daily problem. I'm not like a priest that wear a collar that turn it upside down and then take it off whenever I have to travel. I have these 24/7. So wherever I go, that's why I love Africa, because my African brethren, they stop me a lot, but they let me go a lot.
Yeah.
Because we never do nothing wrong.
Do they go through your dreadlocks and try and see if there's things in
that
there?
That happened when I go overseas. Then I have to tap my hair like this and put my hand for swab.
Oh.
And then they swab my hand and they have me in the cubicles. But a man is a man,
But do you feel like you are being disrespected, or do you feel like you are
I'm way past
derogatory? You're not affected by it.
I'm no more affected by nothing.
Sure, Pops.
I'm so spiritual. I'm beyond that.
What?
I'm beyond torture. Because I've been like this, my hair is long dread, And how can I say? When my hair was shorter, and I used to go for, I got papers in diesel mechanics, engineering, and all that. Out of 10 jobs, when I send my CV, I'll get all 10. But when I physically go there, I'll get 1 out of 10. The 1%. You know what I mean? So all my life, I'm used to rejection. Rejection is something you were born with. You were rejected or ejected out of your mother's womb.
Yeah.
So you're a man. Stand up and take it.
And don't be a
Yeah,
crybaby.
don't be a crybaby. What I gotta cry for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't like
My
me.
jaw is so powerful. You can't touch not one hair on my head.
Have you ever been forced to cut your hair?
I've had a gun pointed direct at me and it never fired.
Ah,
Yeah.
for you to cut your hair? Or what?
No,
What do you mean?
a different case.
Okay,
but
okay,
I'm just showing.
All right, okay. So it was
Yeah.
an ultimatum and you said no.
Yeah, you know.
It's crazy.
And the gun ended up under my foot
Yo.
with me in control.
Ha.
So
It's how you just turn your situations around.
it's spiritual.
Yo, Paps, I want us to take a quick break, Paps. Let's drink some water and
Yes.
maybe let's go.
We're on fire.
You're on fire. Let's go look for the burning bush, Moses.
Time out.
We're gonna kick the ball a little bit for
Yeah, I
like
don't
5-10
mind.
minutes.
I love to kick ball, you know.
All right, I think we're gonna go around to that place over there. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take a break, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this, seed.
Yeah. Okay, that red mark.
Can you see it?
Yeah. No, man. Yo, but I turned and I said, no, I don't like this. You know? And I thought to myself, no, there must be something better than taking life or dealing with taking life.
How many? So you could take the gun apart. You could assemble it
Yes.
and put it back together.
Yes. All the different, from handguns to the big 14mm water cooled
Yo,
cannon things with big bullet like so.
what?
Because it's 14mm, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yo, Paps.
So I went through that training and you know, then my spirituality must have said to me, no, you're not for the army, you know.
Yeah. And you were
Actually,
like,
I was in the Air Force, so then I left
yo.
and but I had to get a job, so I ended up studying engineering, you know.
Yeah. Let's go play the ball a little bit.
Yeah, man,
let's go, Pop.
Let's get young again. Let's go.
No, but Pops, like keeping young and still being able to run like this, Pops.
Diet and the love of life. Every time, and unfortunately, they emigrated to the UK.
What?
Yeah. I said, at this time, with all these things happening in the world,
Yo.
why would you want to go to the UK, Fred?
Ah.
Not easy out there, you know,
Yeah.
because the price of everything is skyrocketing there because of the war.
Yeah.
So gas
And you're going there with your rand.
with Iran, but I suppose you know the families from there. But still, yeah, they're up and down a lot. So it's not like.
We are back from doing a few activities. This is a free ride podcast. Big ups and thanks to Mr. President Classic Cars. And of course, we are in a green Mercedes-Benz, 1978. It's 44 years old. And I'm also with a man who actually saw my vision and he helped me through it. Pubs, I remember that time when I brought when I brought this and another Mercedes to you. Pubs?
Yeah. Well, we like to play around a little bit, you know, fix here, touch there, advise, and help. Because I was trained in mechanics. So I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
And you remember the first time I brought it to you, Pops?
It didn't look like this, I tell you. But one thing, you had a great vision because, not many people look at old cars and see the beauty in them.
Yeah.
And you made the right choice because also Mercedes, it keeps its strength, it keeps its value. You find that everything, the seats, all genuine.
Yeah.
And this normally vanishes
Yeah.
when they're that old.
Yeah.
And discolors, and look at how nice and clean it is.
Yeah.
So keeping it, unique like this is not an easy one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a great investment.
I remember, Pops, when it couldn't even ride, the brakes were
when I got to you, it wouldn't start.
Yes.
And I started it in 5 minutes because I could play my little magic tricks on that carburetor.
Yo.
But we didn't start it for long. We just ran it and you said, yes, it starts. But the carburetor is not a easy one because it's those big SU carburetors. It needs a proper expert, and that's what we did. We took it off, took it to town.
Yeah.
And that guy, they got all the spares. You can recycle these cars.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. But thanks so much, Pops, because you believed in the vision and you didn't tell me, throw that thing away. Other people were like, what is this thing?
Yeah, repurpose and reuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing's ever too old. Sometimes, if you're careful enough, you can make even more of a profit out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's unique.
Yeah. Pops, just you I really want to appreciate you for the wisdom that you share with me on like so many times. Whenever we talk, I always walk away with so much. And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I see you as a father figure to me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your mentorship. And we went out today, we played, Pops.
Yeah. Man, the sweat was coming off me. Why, some muscle I never knew I still had was kicking the ball. But, I love that. And I love that the youths of today are looking at more in-depth things other than, just material gain. People are now beginning to say, what is it in life that I must, value and learn to conserve? And a lot of it has to do with our culture, because our culture is special. It has always been special, and that's why it's been robbed, plundered, and looted. And if you know that if it attracts so much attention, there must be something good about it.
Yeah.
And I think Ubuntuism, that love that we have and respect for each other, may it continue until the end of time.
Yeah.
It must never stop.
Yeah.
We must love each other. We must respect each other.
Yeah.
And keep these principles together.
No, it's powerful, Pops. There's a last quote I would like you to close off with that you were telling me about.
Yeah.
Please, Pops, can you read it?
Well, I'll try and read it because it's not me. I hope I got it somewhere. Where I got it?
It's not your words.
It's not my words, but these are things that hurt me, because I look back when and this is excerpt from a letter from King Leopold II of Belgium, and the year was what year was this? I hope it shows the year. But anyway, it says, your knowledge of the gospel, which we wrote, will allow you to order the Negroes in any way you want, and to encourage them to love poverty. Convince the Negro that the poor are happier and will inherit the heaven, and it's very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detach yourselves from them and make them disrespect everything which they revere as sacred, and gives them courage to confront us. I make reference to their mystic spirituality system, which is a threat to our conquest. You must do everything in your power to make it disappear. By all means, the Negro must be made Christian. By only this way will they, this word is, will they let go of their rich culture and everything they respect about themselves. So, let's think about these things. Let's think about these
Hmm.
things.
Sure, Paps.
King Leopold, when he was in the Congo, there's a lot of our people went down in the Congo, millions.
That he killed.
Yeah.
Massacred.
Wow. In the worst, most barbaric means possible.
And nothing happened to him.
No even mention of what happened.
No mention of it.
No mention. And when you see these speeches in the latter day, in today's day, and you know that is why it's not being shown to you. Because we are floundering around in a spiritual system that we are not aware it's leading us away. Let's get back to our roots and culture, our Africanness, the one that we know from a long time ago. And it's a one God principle. And learn to respect it and love it. Yeah.
Pops, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you, like always, Pops, like always. And I appreciate you. And thanks for taking time to share your knowledge with people that are watching and listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
And thank you for being my guest, Pops.
Oh,
You're like, okay, cool, let me come on board, man, let's do this thing.
Yeah, well, I don't really do much talking, but I do a lot of thinking. So once in a while, it's good to talk to people and let them know what you're thinking. And that is your sphere and your domain, and you're good at it. And keep at it, bro. We love it.
Thank you, Pops.
Yeah, I'm supporting the dissemination of knowledge and good vibrations.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Pops. Really appreciate it. So, all right. So this is where we're going to wrap it up. And thank you very much to everybody who choose to download and look at this podcast and watch it on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also catch it on Spreaker. You can download the podcast, or you can just click on it and you'll be able to listen to the audio, or you can go to Spotify. You can click on it and just listen to the podcast. And it's simple and it's easy. And please come on and join the movement as we move along. And come through for a free ride if you want to come for a free ride and have fun. You had fun there, right, Paps?
Most genuine.
Yeah.
I'm a young man at heart. Sometimes I play the ball.
And you were shooting.
Yeah. And, it brings out that goodness in you. You just feel like, wow, I can kick it more. But why? The head and the heart, they don't work together sometimes because you be tired. Too quick. But I enjoyed it, man. This is great. Keep up what you're doing. It's good work. And everybody's diverse and different. And sometimes we need to hear from different people just to...
Kwame Nkrumah was right. He reminded his audience, if they remain in disunity, they would remain weak.
We pray Jah put his hand on you. Give a little smile if you feel this too. It's a crazy world and you know that's true. But nevertheless, we want to see it through. Jah give his love to you. Africa, I cry and we feel this too. It's a crazy world, but we there for you. Africa, unite, we the chosen few. Still my dreams of unity's what I picture. Still I want the borders gone and us to live freer. Imagine we pre-1873, now they care in the world, just one big family. At that moment, sleeping child shall awaken, and we shall receive 7 times what was taken. They scared of us, they're there to rust. Only my brothers care, only my sisters love. We still looking for answers, fresh out of surgery, healing from cancer. Praying for a better day, know we gon' be okay. Put that on everything, cause child love is everything, everything. Singing in the midst of the fire, I know you're here. I know it's hard, but we gotta make it. Come together, build up every nation, every kingdom from Azania to Cairo, united as one. Africa, I cry and I know Jah see it here. It takes time, but I know we'll make it. Come together, singing out Jah praises. Every kingdom in the whole continent, united in song. Let's get a moment of silence for life's lost.